morning, my bass brethren. I am here today with something a little different, but before we get to that, let's just get to this. Don't forget Whirlwind Cables, the leader to keep you connected. You wanted the best, you got the best. And of course, my favorite music store on the planet, the House of Guitars. Thus, my endorsement duties are done. So, another thing I'm going to tie in today is I'm going to start going through my band t-shirts and vintage t-shirts and sort of feature bass and band combos just for fun. So today is Badfinger. Now I got to know Tommy and Badfinger in the 80s, and it was quite an experience meeting him. Some of my favorite songs from the 70s are Badfinger, and they have a really deep catalog. It's a lot more than the hits. I suggest you check it out. Day After Day Live is a double album set, which I think really sets off the band's writing and just prowess as a live band. It's well worth checking out. And on that album, Tommy does use on some of the tracks a 60s non-reverse Thunderbird. See if you can figure out which ones he uses it on. So today I have something a little different. Back in the 80s, early 80s, probably 80 or 81, I bought an early Ibanez tube screamer, and I loved it. I was using it in conjunction with a Gallien-Kruger GK800RB, and I didn't like that amp at all. It was too clean for me, so I dirtied it up with the TS8, which I just bought the reissue at the Great House of Guitars last night, and it's like discovering a long lost friend. Now, many of you know I am not a clean amp guy. Before I got the Gallien-Kruger 800RB, I was using Marshalls, and in the early 80s, nobody liked my Marshalls at all. And so I went to the Biamp solid state rig, and I freaking hated it, I'll be honest. It's a great piece of gear, don't get me wrong. The Gallien-Kruger 800RB is a classic. It's just not for me. So, in the meantime, before I could sort that problem out, I bought the Tube Screamer, and that really helped me beef up the sound and get the tone I was looking for. At one point in the mid-80s, it drifted out of my possession, let's say. So, there you go. And for quite a while now, I've been using a big muff in my pedal board for power chords and big endings and stuff, and that works great. It's the like a 84 or 85 Soviet era big muff. Really great pedal, but I kind of miss the subtleness of the Tube Screamer. So I bought a bass Tube Screamer, and it's a good pedal, but it doesn't really have the sound of the original TS808. So I picked that up last night at the House of Guitars, and I'll give you a little demo. I really love the sound of this. I'm playing through my Fender Rumble Stage 800 on the basic Rumble setting. So it's clean. There's no vintage button pushed or anything like that. So I want to find something as clean as possible to demo just the bass and the amp combo. Punchy, kind of the antithesis of my playing. So I have the Tube Screamer with the bass, the tone rolled all the way back, so it's bassy. I have the overdrive at just under half, and I have the level just over half. And this is what we come up with. Really nice, kind of warm, but not gritty overdrive. It's very smooth, and compared to the Ibanez TS9 tube screamer. I think that's the big difference you'll find. The TS9 can be quite gritty compared to this. This is very smooth, and that's what I like about it. And it works great for bass. I was checking it out while I was working at the House of Guitars last night, and one of the guitar players are like, "You're going to use that for bass?" I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." And he's like, "Geez, that sounds great." So it was nice that he said that. But I really love the TS808 tube screamer. This is a really great. It's a subtle pedal. It's not gonna provide lots of crunch and crazy distortion and stuff, but to give your bass a nice fat overdrive, I prefer this over the Ibanez bass tube screamer. It's a much better pedal. So here it is clean. Here it is with the tube screamer engaged. I did that backwards. Here, let's try it again. Okay, clean. Here we go. Here it is engaged. I just love the way that sounds. Just really. Great, love this pedal. So there it is, the Ibanez Tube Screamer TS808, and my band tie-in with my non-reverse Thunderbird is Tommy Evans of Badfinger. So keep an eye out, folks. I'll be digging through my t-shirt pile and my bass pile, and until then, keep on rocking.